Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi, and we are continuing to read, by Prabhupada's mercy, we are continuing to read The Science of Self-Realization, the book by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Very, very symbolical for me at this point of life. We're starting chapter 6, Finding Spiritual Solutions to Material Problems. Hare Krishna. So we're starting the first section entitled Crime, Why and What to Do. Introduction. Every year the world spends more money on crime prevention and control. Yet despite these efforts, crime rates are soaring. And notably, in American public schools, crime has reached almost uncontrollable levels. In this July 1975 discussion with Lieutenant David Moose, Media Relations Officer for the Chicago Police Department, Srila Prabhupada proposed an amazingly simple yet practical solution to the seemingly insurmountable problem of crime. Lieutenant Moose: I understand you have some ideas that could help us in our efforts to prevent crime. I'd be very interested to hear them. Srila Prabhupada: the difference between a pious man and a criminal is that one is pure in heart and the other is dirty. This dirt is like a disease in the form of uncontrollable lust and greed in the heart of the criminal. Today people in general are in this diseased condition, and thus crime is very widespread. When the people become purified of these dirty things, crime will disappear. The simplest process of purification is to assemble in congregation and chant the holy names of God. This is called Sankirtana and is the basis of our Krishna consciousness movement. So if you want to stop crime, then you must gather as many people as possible for mass Sankirtana. This congregational chanting of the holy name of God will dissipate all the dirty things in everyone's heart. Then there will be no more crime. Lieutenant Moose: do you have any feelings about crime here in the United States as opposed to the crime in your own country of India? Srila Prabhupada: what is your definition of crime? Lieutenant Moose: any trampling on the rights of one person by another person. Srila Prabhupada: yes, our definition is the same. In the Upanishads it is said, Ishavasyam idam sarvam, quote, everything belongs to God, unquote. So everyone has the right to utilize whatever is allotted to him by God. But one may not encroach upon others' property. If one does so, he becomes a criminal. Actually, the first crime is that you Americans are thinking this land of America is yours. Although 200 years ago it was not yours, you have come from other parts of the world and claimed it as your land. Actually, it is God's land, and therefore it belongs to everyone, since everyone is a child of God. But the vast majority of people have no conception of God. Practically speaking, everyone is godless. Therefore, they should be educated to love God. In America, your government has a slogan, "In God we trust." Is that correct? Lieutenant Moss: yes. Srila Prabhupada: but where is the education about God? To trust is very good, but simple trust will not endure unless it is backed up with scientific knowledge of God. One may know that he has a father, but unless he knows who his father is, his knowledge is imperfect. And that education is the science of God. That education in the science of God is lacking. Lieutenant Moss: do you feel that it's lacking only here in the United States? Srila Prabhupada: no, everywhere. The age we live in is called Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, the age of forgetting God. It is an age of misunderstanding and quarrel, and the people's hearts are filled with dirty things. But God is so powerful that if we chant His holy name, we become purified, just as my disciples have become purified of their bad habits. Our movement is based on this principle of chanting the holy name of God. We give everyone the opportunity without any distinction. They can come to our temple, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, take a little prasadam as refreshment, and gradually become purified. So if the governmental authorities give us some facilities, then we can hold mass sankirtana. Then without a doubt, the whole society will change. Lieutenant Moss: if I understand you correctly, sir, you are saying that we should emphasize a return to religious principles. Srila Prabhupada: certainly. Without religious principles, what is the difference between a dog and a man? Man can understand religion, but a dog cannot. That is the difference. So if human society remains on the level of dogs and cats, how can you expect a peaceful society? If you bring a dozen dogs and put them together in a room, will it be possible to keep them peaceful? Similarly, if human society is filled with men whose mentality is on the level of dogs, how can you expect peace? Lieutenant Moss: if some of my questions sound disrespectful, it is only because I do not completely understand your religious beliefs. I mean no disrespect whatsoever. Srila Prabhupada: no, it is not a question of my religious beliefs. I'm simply pointing out the distinction between human life and animal life. Animals cannot possibly learn anything about God, but human beings can. However, if human beings are not given the facility to learn about God, then they remain on the level of cats and dogs. You cannot have peace in a society of cats and dogs. Therefore, it is the duty of the governmental authorities to see that people are taught how to become God conscious. Otherwise, there will be trouble. Because without God consciousness, there is no difference between a dog and a man. The dog eats, we eat. The dog sleeps, we sleep. A dog has sex, we have sex. A dog tries to defend itself, and we also try to defend ourselves. These are the common factors. The only difference is that a dog cannot be instructed about his relationship with God, but a man can. Lieutenant Moss: wouldn't peace be a precursor to a return to religion? Must we not first have peace? Srila Prabhupada, no, that is the difficulty. At the present moment, no one actually knows the meaning of religion. Religion means to abide by the laws of God, just as good citizenship means to abide by the laws of the government. Because no one has any understanding of God, no one knows the laws of God or the meaning of religion. This is the present status of people in today's society. They are forgetting religion, taking it to be a kind of faith. Faith may be blind faith. Faith is not the real description of religion. Religion means the laws given by God, and anyone who follows those laws is religious, whether a Christian, a Hindu, or a Muslim. Lieutenant Mose, with all due respect, isn't it true that in India, where religious customs have been followed for centuries upon centuries, we are seeing not a return to, but a drawing away from spiritual life? Srila Prabhupada, yes, but it is only due to bad leadership. Otherwise, the vast majority of the Indian people are fully conscious of God, and they try to follow the laws of God. Here in the West, even big college professors do not believe in God or in life after death. But in India, even the poorest man believes in God and in the next life. He knows that if he commits sins, he will suffer, and if he acts piously, he will enjoy. To this day, if there is a disagreement between two villagers, they will go to the temple to settle it, because everyone knows that the opposite parties will hesitate to speak lies before the deities. So in most respects, India is still 80% religious. That is the special privilege of taking birth in India, and the special responsibility also. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Bharata bhumi tihaila manushya janma yara, janma sarthaka kari karapara upakara. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 9.41. Anyone who has taken birth in India should make his life perfect by becoming Krishna conscious. Then he should distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world. Lieutenant Mose, sir, there is a Christian parable that says it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to come before the throne of God. Do you think the wealth of the United States and other Western countries is a block to spiritual faith? Srila Prabhupada, yes, too much wealth is a block. Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita 2.44, Bhogaishvarya prasaktanam taya pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. If one is materially very opulent, he forgets God. Therefore, too much material wealth is a disqualification for understanding God. Although there is no absolute law that only the poor man can understand God, generally, if one is extraordinarily rich, his only ambition is to acquire money, and it is difficult for him to understand spiritual teachings. Lieutenant Mose, in America, those who belong to the Christian faith also believe these things. I don't see any vast differences between the spiritual beliefs of one religious group and another. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, the essence of all religion is the same. Our proposal is that whatever religious system one follows, he should try to understand God and love Him. Understand and love Him. If you're a Christian, we do not say, that is no good, you must become like us. Our proposition is that whether you are Christian, Muslim or Hindu, simply try to understand God and love Him. Jai. We're going to stop here for today. Thank you for tuning in. The link to this book is in the description. Please check out our website shravanamdiaries.com, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.